So proceeding on to the next question, that is your question number 14. Monochromatic light is used to produce double slit interference fringes on a screen. The fringe separation on a screen is y. Okay, the distance from the slits to the screen and the separation of the slits are both doubled, and the light source is unchanged. So we need to find out what is the new fringe separation on the screen. Okay, so that means over here they are given that the fringe separation that was initial, this is equal to y. Okay, and we know that the fringe separation is equal to your d lambda by d. Okay, d lambda by small d, where d is the distance between the slits and the screen. Okay, and small d is the distance between the two slits. Okay, so small d is the distance between the slits. Distance between the slits. Okay, now what is happening? The distance from the slits to the screen and the separation of the slits are both doubled. Okay, so now the d is becoming how much? 2d, right? The distance between the slits and the screen is doubled. Okay, lambda becomes lambda. Okay, so this is y dash. Okay, the new separation. Now what is small d? Small d is the distance between the slits. The distance between the slits is also doubled. Okay, so this is equal to 2d, right? So that means y dash, that is the new separation, this is equal to your again lambda d by small d. Okay, and what is lambda d by small d? Y only. Okay, so that means what is happening? The new fringe separation will not change. Okay, the previous fringe separation will be equal to the new fringe separation. So the correct option to your question number 14 is option number B, y. So proceeding on to the next question, that is your question number 15. Unpolarized light is incident under polarizing filters X and Y. Okay, they are arranged so that the light emerging from Y has the maximum intensity. Okay, X is fixed and Y is rotated through theta about the direction of the incident beam. Okay, so we know that when the polarizer is rotated through an angle theta, the intensity becomes I naught. The intensity I naught is equal to I cos square theta. Okay, so what does this mean? What does this equation mean? I is the previous intensity. Okay, theta is the angle rotated. Okay, and the final intensity after the rotation happens is I naught. Okay, so I naught is the final intensity. So they are saying what are the first three successive values of theta for which the final transmitted intensity is maximum. Okay, so after the first rotation, what is the intensity? The intensity is, suppose the intensity is I1. I1 will be equal to your I cos square theta, right? Now after the second rotation, okay, for the second rotation the intensity is I1, right? Now after the second rotation, suppose the intensity becomes I2. So what will be I2? I2 will be equal to I1 cos square theta 2. Okay, so this is theta 1 theta 2, right? Now after the third rotation, for the third rotation the intensity of the light previously is I2, right? So after the third rotation, suppose the intensity of the light becomes I3. So I3 would be equal to how much? This will be equal to your I2 cos square theta 1. Okay, so that means over here I3 will be equal to your I2 cos square theta 3, right? So I can also write I3, so this is equal to, what is I2? I2 is I1 cos square theta 2, right? So theta 2 into cos square theta 3. Okay, and what is I1? I1 is I cos square theta 1. Okay, I1 is what? I cos square theta 1 cos square theta 2 into cos square theta 3. So this is the net intensity after 3 consecutive rotations. Okay, so what we want, what are the first 3 consecutive values of theta for which the final transmitted intensity is maximum. Okay, so that means this value should be maximum, right? And what is the maximum value of this expression? The maximum value of the expression will be I. Why? Because after 3 consecutive Why? Because after 3 consecutive rotations also the intensity cannot be greater than I. The maximum intensity will be always I. Okay, so that means from here we can see that, so that means from here we see that the maximum intensity will be equal to I, right? So I3 will be equal to I. So instead of I3 I am substituting I. Why? Because the maximum intensity is I. Okay, so this will be equal to I cos square theta 1 cos square theta 2 into cos square theta 3. So that means from here we get that cos square theta 1 cos square theta 2 cos square theta 3. Okay, so this will be theta 2 into cos square theta 3. So this value should be equal to 1, for which what happens, the maximum intensity, for which what happens, the so this value should be equal to 1. Okay, so over here if I just come back to the questions, so now we will match the following options. Okay, so what will be correct? Cos square theta 1 cos square theta 2 into cos square theta 3. This value should be equal to 1 for the correct option. Okay, so for the first option 90 180 270, so cos square 90 cos square 180 into cos square 270. Okay, cos square 90 is 0. 0 multiplied by anything will be equal to your 0, right? So that means over here what is happening, this value is becoming equal to 0. Okay, but this value should be equal to 1, right? So for so the first option is incorrect. Now proceeding on to the second option. Now proceeding on to the second option, see again it has 90. Okay, so will be cos square 90, this will be 0, and again the total expression will become 0. So this is also incorrect. Okay, now proceeding on to the next option, 180 360 540. Okay, so that means cos square 180 cos square 360 cos square 540. Okay, so what is cos square 180? Cos 180 is 1, right? So cos square 180, so this will be equal to your 1. So we know that cos square 180 is minus 1 whole square. Okay, cos 360 is 1. Okay, so this is equal to 1. Okay, cos 540 is again minus 1, right? Minus 1 whole square. So this value is equal to 1. So this can be the correct option. Okay, now proceeding on to the fourth option, that is your 180 540 and 720. Over here I can see that cos square 180 into cos square your 540 into cos square your 720. Okay, cos square 180 is minus 1 whole square. Cos square 540 is also minus 1 whole square. Cos square 720 is 1 whole square. So this value is also 1. Okay, so both of these option can be correct. Okay, but now read the question carefully. So they are asking what are the first 3 successive values of theta for which the final transmitted intensity is maximum. First 3. Okay, so for the option C, this is 180 360 540. Okay, but for option D, this is 180 540 and 720. So they are ditching 360, but for 360 also we can get the correct option, right? So that means the first 3 value will be 180 360 and 540. Okay, so the correct option to your question 15 will be option number C. I hope you got the question.